Welcome everyone to the virtual Road America for once again another week of the virtual advanced Mazda MX-5 series presented by Heusinkveld here on the iRacing service. Welcome to the Racing Line Network. This is going to be one heck of a race. This race is going to be at the bend layout too, believe it or not, utilizing a different layout aside from the standard layout that we usually use here at Road America, as we see the images of Road America. And probably at least once I'm going to be calling it Road Atlanta by mistake, but we'll see how things go throughout this evening. But welcome to the course. As we see on the video here, there is the bend, not going through towards the entirety of the back straight, and instead using a secondary portion of this track, a really used portion of this track as well, and that's something that I'm very much looking forward to. Qualifying currently underway. We have about 2.5 minutes left, just about. I'm very excited to bring you all of the action here tonight. You hear the cars in the background, and we'll show you what the times are here in just a couple of moments. I'll see if we can get somebody who is currently on a flying lap, someone who has yet to complete a lap as well. We start off by looking at the number 15 for this week, Charles Wolf. In fact, he's just about to complete his lap this time by. So let's see where he'll fall across the start-finish line. Lap times this week, 2 minutes 40 seconds, so that's going to be the only opportunity that Charles has. He goes fourth. James Newell on his second lap. He has invalidated his first lap, so let's stick with this number 5. We have 21 cars this week, 4 splits of 21 cars this week. And Newell does have a chance, I believe, to finish up his lap. You see, his first lap was a 2 minute 40. So we'll see as he just dips his tires into the grass if he's able to complete this in time, but I'm not too sure. He's got a minute left, and then you have to be a little bit farther along, but we'll stick with Newell. Shepard has not set a lap time. May have opted to start from the back, but it was marked that he did do a lap of sorts. So it may have been invalidated as we continue to watch the number 5 of Newell. I don't think he's going to make it. No, definitely not. 40 seconds left. He's quite a ways off, but we do get to look at the bend. Different portion of the track that we are using this week here at Road America. Under the Mission Bridge and hard on the brakes they'll go. Bypassing the, I guess technically the short chute is what it would be in this case. With 15 seconds left in qualifying, I don't think, it's not even don't think, it's unfortunate certainty that Newell will not be making it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting grid for this race, as the drivers will prepare themselves and line up on the starting grid. Waiting for everything to switch over proper. Go ahead and get your starting grid on screen. For some reason it's not showing up at the moment, but we'll go ahead and read it through regardless. Starting off on the first row, it is going to be Michael Folds. Ivan Bernabeu Jr. starts off in second. Third place, John Miller the third. Fourth place, Charles Wolf. Fifth place is going to be Ishmael Oblal, I believe is how it's pronounced. Spence Lofton will start off in the P6 position. So we can get this on screen here momentarily for everyone. Regardless, we'll continue reading through. Starting off in P7, it's going to be Felipe De Silva. Tom Sanders starts 8th. 9th, Trafford King. 10th is Kevin Kramer. Carlos Cepeda starts off in 11th. 12th place is Tak Sato. Not Takuma Sato, just Tak Sato. But for all we know, it could be Takuma Sato's alternate account. Starting off in 13th is going to be Daniel DeLiberti. Gregorio Moreno Jr. starts 14th. 15th is Thomas Lothrop. 16th is Atsushi Osafun. Matt Mullen starts 17th. 18th is Javier Mendez. 19th, Andres Navarro. Nicholas Shepard starts 20th. And James Newell will start in 21st. Michael Folds yet to grid for the moment. And there he goes. Eyes going to be on the flag stand at the top as the revs rise. 30 minutes on the clock at Road America. Foot is to the floor, and we're racing here as they go down off into turn number 1. This will be a smooth start for everybody as they make their way through. Bernabeu Jr. on the back bumper. No one is out as of yet. Hello, almost 3 wide here for about P3. Thought some contact was made, but everyone does look to make it through side by side here. Between the 9 and the 15, that is De Silva and Wolf. Side-by-side battles going through as we just listen to the sights and listen to the sounds and look at the sights of these drivers battling it out, especially throughout the mid-pack here. Everyone's starting to trade positions throughout the bottom portion of the top 10. Here we go. This is going to be the key point down into the bend portion of this racetrack. Drivers hard on the brakes. Some on the grass in the background. Trafford King contact in the back, and that is the number 7. That's a round of Tom Sanders. The 17 of Keith Kramer, or Kevin Kramer rather, has made contact. And all the way down to the bottom order they go. Saw it as it happened as well, just trying for a move. We'll see if we can get one more from up above. Tom Sanders, I believe the one with the unique googly eyes on the hood of his car. And contact is made. Oh, it was a stack up. So it wasn't even the fault of Kramer. It was just a stack up there. Well, looking back live, Michael Folds continues to lead throughout the first lap. We have an estimated 10 laps to go. Here comes Bernabeu Jr. to the right-hand side. Come over in front on the brakes. Takes the lead before they even get to turn number 1. Over the hill they go. There's drivers off in the gravel, I think. You'd think that would be the case. It might just be the dust coming off of the tires from the drivers going over the hill, to be fair. Regardless, this is the looming battle for 10th place. In fact, we have a battle in progress just up ahead for these drivers. Wolf and De Silva side by side once again. Silva trying to get all the racetrack possible here. As Shepard has made his way up to 10th place, actually overshot the braking zone potentially because Lathrop has made his way back up to the 10th place position. A bit of damage on the front end we see as well, so he may have been involved in that first corner incident, but with how the bend is, at least the literal portion of the bend, as we see in the background, Moreno Jr. makes his way by Navarro. The braking could be relatively unexpected for some of these drivers as we focus on Shepard making his way potentially around the outside of Lathrop. That would be a surprise, especially around this corner. Meanwhile, off in the back, it's going to be 2 by 2, now 1 by 2. Navarro nearly getting turned by Moreno, who tried to, actually no, that is Newell, who tried to stick a nose to the right-hand side, wasn't able to get there. Wouldn't have had the preferred lane, though, so he was not able to really make a move. Position swap once again for P6. It's De Silva and Lofton. Spence Lofton, first time we've seen him in the top split for the series so far this year, or this week, or this season. There we go. I was about to get that at some point. Save for Lime Rock Park, because we were not able to broadcast Lime Rock Park. At least first time on the broadcast, first time we're seeing Spence Lofton. And look at that here. Same goes for Carlos Cepeda in this number 4. There's huge amounts of dirt and gravel and everything being carried by these cars. Look in the background here. There comes Moreno Jr. to pit road after 2 laps. Did he not fuel in time? Did he not fuel enough? I know we saw this last week with another driver at the bend, but I could have sworn maybe we've seen it with Moreno as well. Could it be the qualifying setup as well? The fuel set. Trying to go for minimal fuel to get the times down as much as possible. Regardless, Carlos Cepeda has made his way up to P6. Trafford King. Second time we've seen him this season so far on the broadcast. If not the third, but he is sitting here in the second place position, pushing Cepeda. Meanwhile, Folds and Bernabeu Jr. treading spots once again here at the top end of the field. And they make it through cleanly through the corner. Cepeda goes a little bit wide, tries to go back on track in time to avoid getting an incident point. Manages to not take out De Silva. And look at that, capitalizing is De Silva. Taking out Spence Lofton near lane corner exit. Is that who that was in that black and green MX-5? A lot of cars spread out everywhere. On the brakes was Trafford King. Almost spinning was Trafford King. Got the right side tires over on the grass, and under braking especially, that's just not going to play in anybody's favor. How's the lead doing? Well, line is stern for now. Then we go to the 5th place of Charles Wolfe. He's on his own. He might be able to catch up. We'll see if he is able to catch up to the top 4. The 6th through 9th are line is stern. Shepard still in 10th. Lathrop still in 11th. Newell 12th. 13th Navarro, 14th Osafune, and 15th is Mullins. So no pass attempts going into the bend. We could have a change for the lead here down the front straightaway once again. In fact, I think Lofton actually made a pass for 7th place. Well off the track was Trafford King. Going into the gravel just about. Taking the defensive line. Let's see if we can ride on board Carlos Cepeda for a lap and see what it's like to take a lap around Road America. Look at this sight, 3 wide in the Canada corner. As we rode on board, we saw the move done. Felipe da Silva nearly gets turned by Nicholas Shepard on the exit. Both drivers managed to keep it rolling forward. King tries to look around the left-hand side, not able to make a move. Shepard has made his way firmly to the top 10 this time, but hard on the brakes and almost against the back bumper is Trafford King. Again, off the track goes Lofton. Just absolutely slinging the car around. And somebody will have under 20 minutes to go. Da Silva has fallen to 10th. Trafford King now in the sights of Nicholas Shepard. They're hard on the main straightaway once we started riding on board with Cepeda. Is that he was lifting off. He was not going to try and make a pass into turn 1. Likely a lot of these drivers doing the same. Still tires in the gravel once again. I think both Lofton and Cepeda. These drivers being very daring, putting the left side tires all over the place. Right sides as well into the grass. Putting them into the grass early in hopes that the curb will catch them. As Navarro has fallen a couple of positions, he is still continuing forward though. There was a pass for the lead once again between Bernabeu Jr. and Michael Folds. As an active battle going on here into turn 1. Hard on the brakes. It's this group of 5. Could be turning into a group of 6 here. In fact, this pretty much is just about a group of 6. It could be a group of 7 here. If these drivers could, I think they are, and will eventually catch Charles Wolfe. Just the last time by, they were about, I want to say an average 0.4 of a second faster. Side by side for the lead once again. Folds goes by. Just trading the lead are both of these drivers here. As John Miller III sits back and watches. Look at the send by Trafford King into the corner. 3 wide once again. What a formation, and somehow they all make it. Oh, maybe he spoke too soon. Still 3 wide between a couple drivers. And caught in the middle was Spencer Lofton. He ends up okay, side by side now with Da Silva. Off the track he goes again. He's just racking up incident point after incident point. He's going to have to tone it down here, or else he might get a drive-through penalty. I was wondering how much on the defense he would be there going into the corner against Lathrop. But that's Spence Lofton, not Spencer Lofton. So we got Shepard, Cepeda, King, 6th, 7th, and 8th. 9th is Da Silva in car number 9. And then 10th is Spence Lofton in 13. Thomas Lathrop in 11th. And 12th place, James Newell, who might just start to be, I think he's starting to come back here onto the tail end of this group. Now we have the rest of these cars here lined up. And so it looks like Marino Jr. is actually fully retired. He's actually pulled his car behind the virtual garage, virtual wall, into the virtual garage. So his day is unfortunately done. It may not have been fuel. It could have been something else. Could have been a hardware issue. Could have been, I would say, a connection issue. But we didn't see him having any major issues connection-wise on our side. Regardless, this race continues on, and oh man, it almost ended early for Navarro there in the back because he was all over the gravel. I saw it just on the tail end of that last shot where he came out wide. Somehow, someway, manages to hang on to it. But not a good week for Navarro this week. Sitting in 19th right now, battling for 18th. Checking back in with the battle for what could be 7th place here, actually, if Shepard is able to gap these drivers. We'll wait and see how things fare over the next 15 minutes already. Good. Wow. Goodness. One of those blink and you miss at races in a sense. But you definitely, well, if you do blink, you definitely won't miss this pass by Trafford King with help from De Silva. Hard on the brakes they go once again. De Silva goes defensive. Oh, sliding, just holds on to it. Not De Silva going defensive, that is Cepeda that tries to go defensive. And Lofton tried to make it 3 wide there on corner exit. So we have Cepeda in the black, yellow, and red Mazda. De Silva in the black and yellow Mazda. I thought he was going to go for a move there. I saw that car flick to the left-hand side, driver's left side of Cepeda. Thought he was going to try and go for a move under braking. Not able to do so. Does Lofton try and make a pass? You can hear how tentative they're being there. Again, just dipping the left side tires into the dirt. Again, Lofton's going to have to be very careful. He's got to rein it in for the track limits, or else he will be getting a penalty. He could get a drive-through penalty at 17 incident points, and then it's disqualification at a 25 incident points. So every off-track that these drivers get, it is 1 incident point. I do not have the live numbers. Only the drivers know that until the end of the race. Only the drivers know their own incident points until the end of the race, more specifically. So we don't know how many incident points that Lofton has, but we could speculate. It could be way more than needed, as Osafune has dropped a couple positions, just battling with these cars in the back here for about the 15th place position. Going back to the bottom portion of the top 10 battle. Trafford King leads this group now. Shepard is starting to pull away. And for the lead, it's still Folds, Miller, Bernabo Jr., and Oblau. It might be Oblal, actually. Apologies for any mispronunciations. Someone who's not going to be apologizing for a pass attempt. Well, maybe after that, it might be Spencer Lofton. This De Silva has gone way wide out of that corner. I don't believe any contact was made, though. De Silva stays on track. Stays facing forward, even more importantly. James Newell has snuck his way into this battle in the process. Hard on the brakes is Lofton. There's Newell in the 5. This is great for Newell as well. He started 21st. He's not able to put in the lap time. Oh, way wide again is Lofton. We'll keep an eye on our timing screens if anyone does get a drive-through penalty. We do have those notices. As Bernabo Jr. actually made some passes. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, Bernabo Jr. makes a pass here into the, it's effectively Speedville corner. Under the Mission Bridge they'll go. Hard onto the brakes. And Folds sits second as they make their way through the bend. There's Shepard, and here's Cepeda in this battle for the Battle of P6. I thought King was going to try to make a pass. No, Lofton not there to make a move. But shout out for James Newell. He started 21st and currently sits in 10th place. Bad luck in qualifying, but it's definitely paying off in the race here. That is for sure. The pace, overall race pace, definitely more forgiving, especially in Newell's case. Keep an eye on that number 5. They're at the last 11 and a half minutes of this race. Meanwhile, back up front, Folds and Bernabo Jr. going to be trading positions, no doubt, here going into turn number 1. John Miller and Oblau. They've just been sitting back, just watching this happen in front of them. There's really no reason for them to battle, and I don't blame them for just sitting back and watching. We still have 11 minutes left. And even still, it's not like you could get anywhere. These 4 drivers all have relatively equal pace. Oh, nearly making contact with the right rear quarter panel is Bernabeu. He's not going to make a move. Correction, he is going to make a move. They'll go side by side. The gap was there. The opportunity was taken, and so is the lead. Folds back to second, at least for the time being. Miller's going to make a push down the straightaway. Backs off just a little bit. Bernabeu's going to fall single file. He's going to try for the crossover. He's going to try for the switchback. Foles doing a fantastic defensive job, just sitting in the middle of the track on corner exit. Moves back to the racing line ever so slightly on the right. Oh, look at that twitch from the number 6. Just holds on to it, though, so we're right on board with John Miller. And that's a fantastic view of this battle here. You know, back down to the 8th place battle, 7th place battle now. This 6-car battle for 7th place. Could turn into something different. Oh, Lathrop nearly, I thought he was going to overshoot the corner. Luckily, he is able to hang on to the car control, but that damage on the front end likely not helping matters too much for that number 10. Cepeda will lead this group. Actually creates a little bit of a gap here going into the braking zone. So you could have 2 separate battles here. One battle for 2 cars battling for P7, then these other 4 cars battling for P9. The gaps can close if they do decide to work together. If they decide to work together. Even then, King might just barely have a hint of the slipstream there, coming off of number 13. So we'll see how things fare in this next lap. Keeping it well within track limits this time is the number 13, Cepeda. Trying to do his best to ignore the giant neon green car in his mirror. Tom Sanders and Noah Safun trading positions for P13. This little mini battle still going on for these positions. Everyone's still relatively in line, though. I haven't seen any positions trade too much, although we're about to see a position change here. Sato to the right-hand side of Osafun. Mullins is going to follow through just as much as he can, but now he doesn't have the draft down the front straightaway. He's going to be left out to dry. Here comes Navarro, who's going to make it 3 wide on the straightaway. And only one of these cars has the slipstream. One of them seems to have the advantage. Down to the braking zone, back to being 2 wide. Navarro's not backing out. A little bit later on the brakes, just ever so slightly. I saw the brake lights flash. Mullins just a little bit going into turn number 1, trying to keep that car under control. Osafun looks to the right-hand side, decides against it. Back up front, catching the leaders. Tires in the grass. Everything is relatively fine. Very bold decision to track out wide there and have those tires on the outside portion of the racetrack there, especially since you're opening yourself up to a pass here. Speaking of opening themselves up to a pass, the 17 has saw an opportunity to go for a pass. That means Osafun gets passed by Kramer and Diliberti. The top 3 have started to leave out the number 2 machine. Starting to break away here in these last couple of laps. Shepard has gotten by Wolf very silently in. If I do say so as well. And 11 seconds behind this group. It's going to be the 13th through 19th, if not 20th car. 13th through 19th battle of these drivers. Well, Newell and King trading positions here. King all over the back bumper of Newell. Tries to look to the left-hand side. Not sure if it was a pass attempt or not, but he'll stay behind number 10 or number 5 for the moment. And especially for the moment because Newell is going to go off track. Tries to defend, but the entire rest of the group just says, no, no. Although there is one kind soul, and that is Thomas Lathrop. Wants Newell back in line in 11th. This group has started to scatter a little bit. Look at Newell. Is he going to try and make a move? He does. Side by side with De Silva. And he'll stay side by side with De Silva for the moment, but not able to make anything happen here. Just not able to carry the momentum on the right-hand side. Navarro and Sato battling side by side. Navarro way on the outside. And everybody else is going to go to the left-hand side, or driver's right-hand side, I should say, of Navarro. Starting with Talk Sato, Mullins is going to try to make a move, not able to make anything happen. Liberty and Kramer trading positions here, just a little bit behind. With De Silva and King swapping positions. They'll go side by side under the Corvette bridge. Hard on the brakes they both go. De Silva out of position, and back in line he goes. And just like that, we're closing in on 2 laps remaining. Next time these drivers cross the start-finish line, there will be 2 laps to go. Diliberti tries to peek around to the right-hand side of Mullins. Is he going to go for the move? He does. He sees the gap. Mullins gives the space, goes off the track, holds on to it, though. Diliberti up to P16, 3 wide just behind him. Kramer going for a move. Actually, that's Osifun going for a move on Kramer. Kramer in the 17. Osifun tried to make that move on the left-hand side. Nothing doing, though, as of here. Checking on the top 4. They're doing relatively okay. Charles Wolf about to fall into the clutches. Actually, no. Charles Wolf about to catch up to Nicholas Shepard here. Leaders making their way through. They will have a pass attempt into this corner as Newell goes to the right-hand side of De Silva. Doesn't fully complete the pass just yet. And they'll stay side by side. A little bit of contact is made. And Newell just hangs on to it. Tires just grazing the grass. But he does stay in position. Same with this group. No changes here. And it's 2 laps to go this time by. With 3 minutes left. There'll be 20 seconds left at the start-finish line, but it is not time plus 1 lap. So once we hit the start-finish line next time by, it will be the final lap, no matter what. So, time does not need to expire in order to be given the final lap. Oh, De Silva. De Silva has a black flag. De Silva has a black flag. And considering he's still on track, he has reached the incident limit. So De Silva will not be competing for the top 10 positions anymore. This could be a 2-car battle. In fact, this will be a 2-car battle for 10th place. Correction, for 9th place, Trafford King and James Newell. De Silva has hit the incident limit. He has to serve a drive-through penalty. That's going to be side by side between De Silva and Newell. Newell just... No! He doesn't make it. Newell gets a black flag as well. That was the last straw for his track limits. Both of them make contact. And Newell also gets a black flag for track limits. The incident limit has been reached for the number 5 as well. 17 incident points for both drivers. And just as I thought it could be a 2-car race for P9, Newell has gone off track one too many times. This last lap could be absolutely devastating for some drivers. And this counts. These incident points do count because this is an official session for iRacing. This isn't a league. This is the official series, so this will hurt their safety rating as well. It's not only Do they get hit with 17 incident points, which is devastating enough as it is, depending on what class you're in, what safety rating class you have. But you also get a drive-through penalty, which basically guarantees that you're not gaining any iRating either. And iRating is what sorts these drivers in their respective splits, especially the car numbers. So for these drivers, Felipe De Silva being the number 9, James Newell being the number 5, they're the 9th and 5th. Out of this split, they have the 9th and 5th highest iRating out of this split. So even for bomb split, there could be a number 1 driver as we hit the final lap this time by 19 seconds to go. 2 drivers with the black flag. How many other drivers could have a black flag looming over them as well for track limits? They choose to stay out. They choose to not serve the drive-through penalty. That's going to drop them to the end of the order anyway, by choosing to not serve the penalty. They can't serve it going through pit road either. De Silva tries to make a move and is very lucky that the contact wasn't fully registered. Meanwhile, for the lead, it's going to be Michael Folds and Bernabeu Jr. It could be John Miller III in this battle as well. Here comes Miller, down to the left-hand side. No, not able to make a move. It was a staggered 3 wide, at least a look at being 3 wide. But nothing was able to be done. Foles defending as much as he can. And he's going to have to do the cleanest defense possible here. On the right side, though, he's looking at least at another podium. Position swapping all over. Here comes Bernabeu to the inside. Switch back from Foles. Back to the left-hand side. Both of them make contact. They're out. John Miller goes to the lead. Second place is going to be Ishmael. Foles, I did say, could potentially still stay on the podium, but not with that contact. Bernabeu, Ivan is falling back, still falling back from 6th now to 7th if Cepeda can get by, but he's out of the top 5. Here comes Lofton to the inside of Cepeda, nearly makes contact. But as a result of all of that, could it be, the race still isn't over yet, could it be John Miller III getting a win here at Road America? A pass attempt he had tried to make, it didn't go over too well. He backed out. It proved successful, but how successful could it prove to be with the number 2 driver directly behind him? Into the final corners they go. Hard on the brakes is Miller. And just like that, not close enough to make a move, John Miller might be able to pull off this win. The slipstream from the number 2 could prove different, though. It's going to be side by side, but it's not in time. John Miller, just by a car length, wins at Road America. Ishmael, 2nd, 3rd, still on the podium, but at what cost is Folds De Silva making contact? Tries for a defense, but he will drop down the order. And in the back as well for P15, everyone a little bit staggered out. They finished their race as well. Wow. Wow. What a finish. What a race. Something that I was not expecting. We'll absolutely have to get a second look. In fact, we'll do that here in just a few months. We'll get a second look for everybody here for that contact on the last lap. Was it overambitious or was it a racing incident? That is the question. We'll go ahead and rewind everything here and take a moment to reset, take a moment to look, and we'll do it from up above. So here is the replay of the incident between Folds and Bernabeu. Folds first in this instance. Bernabeu, oh man, that's a daring pass, but that is a clean pass regardless. Gets into the gravel, and Folds just... Well, we'll have to look from a different angle. Let's run this back one more time. Everything seemed clean for the most part, I would say. That's right on board with John Miller here. He has the best angle of this. Sitting directly behind, and just a racing deal, I would say. I would argue that's just a racing deal. Let's rewind this one more time. But what a win, though. And what a moment. So we'll slow it down here. By this point, Folds does know that Ivan is there, and Folds does try to correct, but I think Ivan's too much on the grass there. Let's ride in car with him. Let's listen to the throttle application of the number 6. Well, props for him for not lifting, honestly. That's right on board Michael Folds. Yeah, just a racing deal for sure. Definitely just a racing deal, I would say. But wow, what a race. What a finish. And Folds, luckily, does still get on the podium, but man, oh man, oh man. Let's go ahead and look through your finishing results for this race. If it'll come up, there we go. Well, after a chaotic last lap, I would say, John Miller III ends up in the first place position. Ishmael, I believe Oblal, finishes in second. Folds still does get podium in third, but again, I ask, at what cost? Nicholas Shepard, fourth. Fifth place, Charles Wolfe. Sixth place, Ivan Bernabeu Jr. Seventh place is Carlos Cepeda. Eighth place, Spence Lofton. Ninth place is Thomas Lathrop. And 10th place is Trafford King. Tom Sanders finishes in 11th. 12th place, Talk Sato. Andres Navarro, 13th. Daniel DiLiberti, 14th. 15th, Matt Mullins. 16th is Kevin Kramer. Kramer. I'm going to go with Kramer. 18th is Asushi Osafun. And then Javier Mendez finishes 18th, with Felipe Da Silva finishing 19th. James Newell finishes in 20th, with Moreno Jr. rounding out the 21st positions. And just to double check, yeah, Da Silva and Newell, both drivers who had black flags for exceeding the 17-point incident limit, and 1 point per every off track. So every time they went off track, they got 1 incident point, and that pretty much sealed the deal for them. But wow, I think I'm speechless for once. But what a race that was. What a race we have, or had, but what a race we do have upcoming for next week. Because next week, we head to Brands Hatch, but not just the full layout, but it will be the Indy layout, the shorter layout of Brands Hatch. So next week, that is what we have in store for everybody here for week number 6 of the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series presented by Heusinkveld on the iRacing service. We'll see you all next week on July 21st on the Racing Line Network at Brands Hatch on the shorter circuit. Well, I think we can already start making bets on how long it'll take for these drivers to reach lap traffic, but hopefully that won't be the case. But the layout is short enough to definitely occur. We'll see what we have in store for, I believe, what's going to be the shortest track on the schedule for next week. We'll see you next week in the UK.